Hey everyone, welcome to a new game. So this was a Russia game that I just finished. Really awesome game. It ended up being my fastest science game yet, 196 turns. So this one was a lot of fun. I've never tried a science game with Russia before, so this was the first one. Um, I'll kind of outline my strategy and then we'll discuss how Russia's boosts fit in and the game specs and everything too. So um, basically, I use the new the new work ethic religious belief, which gives you production from holy sites, and I was able to get holy sites in almost all of my cities, which gives them a lot of production. So that was like the general approach, like the work ethic strategy. Um, and so basically, this was an abundant resource map. It was a wet map as well. Cold, New World Age, Pangaea. And then here's the map seed if anybody wants to play it. But I really wanted to get a good starting spot because production is just so important early on for these quick games. So this is a really nice starting spot if anybody wants to try it out. But I basically rushed astrology, got an early Lavra going. Lavras give you um, I think they give you 2 profit points per turn. So it's like double the profit points for half the cost of a holy site. So you can easily get a religion really quickly without even building a shrine. So I got the early Lavra going. Got the early religion, I think, about turn 40. I took the Dance of the Aurora Pantheon, which gives your holy sites faith from adjacent tundra. And then I took the work ethic belief, which gives your holy sites production from adjacency bonuses. I did the religious colonization card, similar to my Brazil game. So all of your cities start with your religion. You don't need missionaries or apostles to spread it. And then you have so many cities that you don't really need to worry about the AI's religion taking yours over, because you're just constantly settling new cities, and they can't really do anything about it. So I think I like that combination. So then at that point, the next thing to do is to rush theology for the scripture policy card, the double holy site adjacency. And then once you want to get to 4 population as quickly as you can so that you can build your second district. And then I did campuses in basically every city. And then I got a classical monumentality golden age, which was really good. You can use the faith to buy settlers and builders with that. And so that was really powerful. I was going for a medieval dark age. Here's where my expectations kind of diverged from what actually happened. I was hoping to get a medieval dark age and then play the monasticism card, which gives you a 75% science boost in cities with a holy site. So that medieval era starts around turn 85, and you can get a bunch of cities with holy sites and campuses by that point, or soon after, and you can really take off in science. The one thing that I didn't consider is something unique to Russia. As Russia, you get a boost for settling on tundra, so you get +1 faith and +1 production from tundra tiles. Tundra cities are really good. It's hard to get the population up, but they're very productive, and you get a lot of faith. So you're settling a lot of tundra cities as Russia. And I did not consider that you get 1 era point for every tundra city that you settle. It's not just the first one. It's every single city. So I got way too many era points in the classical era. Missed the dark age. And then in the last 15 turns, I had to basically change gears and go for a golden age, which I did end up getting. So I took monumentality again, ended up buying a lot of builders, a few more settlers, I think. And then I was thinking, okay, so I'm going to go for a Dark Age in the Renaissance era then. And I'll just do the same strategy. So I was able to get a Dark Age for the Renaissance era, but the monasticism card that gives you the 75% science boost was obsolete. So it's only available up through the medieval era. So that was a huge disappointment. But then I realized, if you're playing as Russia and you're doing this kind of strategy, I don't think you're ever really going to get a Dark Age in the classical or medieval era. So I don't think it's really possible to make use of that monasticism card as Russia. So that was a big letdown. I got over it. I just kept pushing through. Ended up with a heroic age in the industrial era. But that was the big turning point where it was a big surprise to me. I was fully expecting to play that policy card going into the Renaissance era, and I couldn't. So it makes me wonder how much quicker this could have been if I was able to get the Dark Age that I wanted. But it was still my best game, so I can't complain. I ended up buying an army with faith and tried to conquer my neighbor, which ended up not working out very well at all. I find that mid-game warfare tends to be pretty tough. Once the AI has crossbowmen, it's very hard to get in there with swordsmen and really do much damage. They usually have walls up around then, and you can't really make use of cavalry. So that was it. That was probably not the best strategy, but it was a learning experience. I used the Grandmaster's Chapel to buy the units. My culture was really strong this whole game, so I got to my Tier 2 government the quickest I've ever gotten to a Tier 2 government. I think it was in the 90s, maybe 93 or something like that. So that was really helpful. My culture was much better than my Brazil game, which I won in 199 turns. So I was able to get to globalization with my moon landing project in this one. It was just enough to get me there. So it went much better. I was able to get the policy card for 5% extra science per suzerain that you have. So I was able to increase my science at the end a lot better than my Brazil game. Otherwise, it was pretty similar, except for the monasticism thing. Wonders were not too good in this game. I had hoped to get pyramids, St. Basil's, Mausoleum, Kilwa, Forbidden City, Potala Palace, Big Ben, Oxford, Ruhr Valley, and Amundsen. Not necessarily all of them, but those were the big wonders that I had my eyes on. And I ended up only able to get St. Basil's, Mausoleum, and Big Ben, and Ruhr Valley, and Amundsen Scott. So I missed a lot of the early ones. Kilwa I could have gotten, but there was only one scientific city-state in this game. So that was kind of unlucky. It's a lot. Up through the mid-game, I think having those extra scientific city-states can really speed you up, but was not able to. The map just didn't have that. So Kilwa was not worth getting. St. Basil's was fun in the capital. Lots of extra food production and culture from that. Yeah, and I was able to get both Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein, which are the two really good scientists in the game. And then I was also able to get Hypatia, actually, too, which is another really good one to get early on. So that was really nice. So I've already discussed a few of these boosts. The Grand Embassy is another one. I didn't even use this one, honestly. I think I did a domestic trade route to get extra production in my capital. But this is a probably a pretty decent boost. I tried to focus more on theater squares this game, so I didn't have a lot of trade routes for most of the game. But then there's yeah, units do not receive damage from blizzards. I played on disaster level 0, so that wasn't a big deal. There were a few disasters. It's not like the disasters are completely gone at this level, but it was a lot better. I played on this level because of a glitch. I think it's a bug. If your holy site gets damaged, then you lose the work ethic effect. So you lose all that production. I didn't want that happening. It happened in my Brazil game, so I just put it down to 0. I didn't lose any. It worked this way, so that was good. Cossacks seemed pretty good. They're kind of late in the game, but I was able to. They did help me out. I was finally able to conquer my neighbor at the end of the game, which might have. I think the investment was more than the benefit, so it probably wasn't worth it, but these units are pretty good. Stronger than cavalry, gains extra 5 combat strength when fighting in or adjacent to home territory, can move after attacking if movement points remain. And then, of course, there's the Lavra, which is really nice, really cheap unit district early on. And then it goes really nicely with the Dance of the Aurora Pantheon. And double the profit points is nice too. So this was Deity, standard speed, Pangaea map, standard map size, no apocalypse mode. Let's see. Standard, I played with standard abundant resources because I wanted, starting in the tundra, I wanted to have some good tiles early on. Did the New World Age, so a hilly, mountainous map for extra production, and then mountains for campus adjacency. I started with a legendary start position, and I was able to get a spices start in tundra, which is really nice when you're Russia. So I had like a 3 food, 3 production tile right off the bat. That was really cool. Cold temperature map, wet map, so woods, rainforest, and marsh. So I'm really just rigging it completely for a fast game. It's not really comparable to having everything standard. The result probably would have been quite different, but this is the map seed if anybody wants to try it. Really cool map, plenty of tundra, and some good city-states to meet early on, which is always nice. So, yeah, hope you enjoy.